Welcome to another edition of Talk City Greensboro, produced by GTN, featuring interviews and events happening around town. It's an easy way to stay in the know while you're on the go. Subscribe to Talk City on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or SoundCloud so you can keep up with what's going on in Greensboro City government. I'm your host, Josh Johnson, and with me today, as always, around the big round table, Rosemary Fleischmann.
So glad to be here as always. Well, Greensboro has a new director of Parks and Recreation, and he's a familiar face. Phil Fleischmann left 4 years ago, but the Gate City called him back, so he boomeranged to lead our amazing Parks Department, and we are happy to welcome him back to Greensboro and to the big round table. Woo. Hello.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be back.
Really glad to have you here. Okay, so let's start with a little personal history. When did you first go to work for the city of Greensboro, and how did you make your way back to where you are now?
So my first job with the city of Greensboro was actually as a lifeguard and summer pool manager at Burr Mill Park. And that was back in 2001. And at the time, I didn't know really what I wanted to do, but had been a competitive swimmer growing up. And my first job was as a lifeguard, continued that through college, became a swim lesson instructor, and then wanted to move to Greensboro after I finished my undergrad degree. And had the opportunity to take that employment at Burr Mill Park. So that was really my first taste of Parks and Recreation from a jobs perspective, as well as my first job here in Greensboro.
And then a couple of times back and forth to get back to where you are now.
That's right. Over the years here in Greensboro, I've worked as an assistant athletic director. I've managed the Greensboro Sportsplex, coordinated a lot of our special programs, that unit, which includes active older adult programming, adaptive and inclusive recreation, our lakes and outdoor education programs. At the time, cultural arts programs were a part of that. Became our division manager over recreation programs for a number of years, deputy director, and now I'm back as director. So yes, I've done quite a few things with the city.
I would say uniquely qualified for this job would be the right way to say that, for sure.
All right, Phil, for those who don't know, because I've had the pleasure of working a little bit with you and Parks and Rec in general, but for those who don't know, what is it about working in Parks and Recreation that has hooked you?
I mean, really, I would say it's the impact that we have. And it looks different, feels different, and it is different, but it happens throughout the city with individuals, with communities, neighborhoods, families and households. I mean, really, it's about impact. So, as far as things that we do on an individual level, it's providing opportunities for socialization and engagement, health and wellness, opportunities to learn a new skill. Obviously for families and households, it's providing creative ways for engagement, to be able to interact together, build better relationships. And then for communities and neighborhoods, it's really providing opportunities to strengthen communities and neighborhoods, bring folks together for different activities, venues and programs, kind of all of that. So it's really about impact. And then, of course, beyond that, kind of even looking a little bit larger, there's the environmental benefits of what we do, from stewardship and conservation of our natural resources here in the city, and then also looking at how we really positively affect economic growth here. So it's economic impact through sports and events that come into town and participate at our facilities. It's, making Greensboro a more desirable place to live, work, and play through a really high-quality Parks and Recreation system. It's really all of that, and it all ties into impact, and that's what really speaks to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's so far-reaching. I mean, I think you're talking about you talked about a little bit, I think, when you're talking about your history of Parks and Rec and the different facilities and the different ways to, that engagement happens. So give us kind of a scope of what Parks and Recreation Department really entails in the city of Greensboro.
Wow. Well, it's really so much.
I mean,
right?
it's more than baseball fields. It's more than, pools and playgrounds.
Yeah, I would say really for anyone tuning in, hopefully you can think for yourself of how you may have interacted with Parks and Recreation here, or a favorite memory that you've had. And it may very well be something that happened in our wonderful Parks and Recreation system here. And that's really what it's about is that individual connection. But as far as what we cover, there's well over 175 facilities, well over 100 miles of trails, lake facilities, recreation centers. We also maintain cemeteries here in town. We really touch a lot, from sports programs to health and wellness, active older adult programs, teen programs, adaptive and inclusive programs. There's just such a great variety, and it's just really exciting to be a part of. Now, one thing we're also very focused in on is equity throughout the park system,
right.
and how we make sure that we're providing for equitable and appropriate opportunities and outcomes all across the city.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. So give us an idea of what are some upcoming events or programs that you're excited about?
So, I'm really excited about a lot of things, but for one, I know that right now it's chilly outside, but warm weather is right around the corner as we've just come into spring. So with spring, that means that these are opportunities for everyone to get outdoors and enjoy our parks and recreation system. And so really probably in general, that's what I'm most excited for is spring weather, great opportunities to get outdoors. So that means, taking a trip to one of our 4 public gardens, one of our regional parks or neighborhood parks or trails, our lakes, really getting outdoors and enjoying the weather of the season. But as far as programs, I always look forward to the Greater Greensboro Senior Games and Silver Arts, which occurs this time of year. Great ways for active older adults to stay involved. I'm looking forward to this being, which it is, North Carolina Year of the Trail, which is sponsored by the Great Trails State Coalition. Greensboro is a part of that. The City Council adopted a proclamation recognizing North Carolina Year of the Trail, and we've got lots of different activities planned to celebrate that. So that means family hikes each month, National Trails Day, the first Saturday in June at Country Park, and then just other ways that folks can get involved and advocate for our trail system here as well as within the state.
How many miles again of trails?
Exactly. It's over 100.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact
It's a lot, though.
It's a lot.
I mean, it really is.
It is. And, we've
You
got
can get
paved
lost.
trails, and then around the watershed, the city's watersheds, Lake Townsend, Lake Brandon, Lake Higgins, there are miles and miles of unpaved trails, which you can go for a hike on, a jog, a walk, mountain biking.
Mountain
on
biking
many
is
of
big
them.
right now.
It is. And I mean, really, those are some of the most beautiful places in Greensboro.
Absolutely.
Is the views around the lakes.
Yeah, you almost feel like you've taken a vacation. I mean, that you're really away from the city.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. And then really, our paved trails as well, just connecting neighborhoods. We've got more planning efforts to come to better connect Greensboro. That's certainly something that's a central point of focus for our comprehensive plan, which is Plan to Play. This week we've got practices starting for t-ball, baseball, softball, kickball. So it's really a great time to get outdoors.
Pickleball?
Yes. Oh, yeah. There's pickleball here.
Yeah.
It's all
We
of
do
that.
have a glow-in-the-dark dodgeball activity
Okay,
coming
see?
up.
Which is
that-
awesome.
I knew
Yes.
it. I knew it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That just, I'm thinking movies. Wasn't there a dodgeball movie?
There was.
Okay,
But
yeah.
a glow-in-the-dark dodgeball, now that is genius.
Sounds like a lot of fun. And Josh, you mentioned pickleball,
Yep.
and pickleball and tennis are both very significant activities here in Greensboro. Both are growing. We're excited this spring to open 6 new clay courts at Spencer Love Tennis Center.
All right.
That adds to Greensboro's reputation as really being a site for tennis and specifically for clay court play with what's available at Spencer Love at J.C. Park as well as Latham Park. So it's an opportunity for us to do more in the way of tennis here, but also to grow our reach for out-of-town individuals coming in for tournaments.
Yeah.
We'll be hosting a girls' national tournament this summer, which is supposed to bring in, I believe, well over $500,000 in economic impact from one tournament
That's
alone.
amazing. And speaking of tournaments, I mean, soccer is huge. And this spring we have we always have a lot of tournaments here, but always the spring tournaments and with Fusion is a big deal.
Yeah, NC Fusion is a significant partner of Parks and Recreation. They do a great job, as does the Greensboro Tennis Program, Triad Tennis Management, and other partners in bringing in, attracting and running tournaments that really have a significant effect. It provides people that live here with opportunities to have really great competitive play and experiences, but it also brings in, and to do that, it brings in folks that live out of town that are spending money in our restaurants, at our hotels, helping to stimulate our economy, further stimulate our economy and support it here. And it's really a great thing to see. But yes, soccer's another just really significant sport in the area. And when you start to list sports, there are many. Greensboro's known as tournament town.
Exactly. Oh, yes.
And I'd like to say Parks and Rec plays a part in that as well.
Yeah.
With the facilities we have.
Yeah, I would like to say, I think you could say really that these tournaments bring people to town, and the parks maybe keep them here. All the amenities that we have around that. Speaking of, so we've received so many awards locally, nationally for our park system. Why do you think that is? What is it that makes it so special?
I would say, for one, it's the commitment of our staff team and of our partners and of our community and their support for Parks and Recreation through passing bonds and just getting involved. Also support from our Parks and Recreation Commission, Parks Foundation, and really our City Council, both past as well as present. Our Mayor and City Council are phenomenal supporters of Parks and Recreation. They have seen it and continue to see it as a priority here. And because of that, we really have had that effect over time where, our system was built over time. So it takes a lot of commitment, a lot of involvement from folks over the years. And I would say that makes our system very special. You mentioned our national awards, our national accreditation. We really have a positive reputation in the state and beyond as being a leader in what we do in Parks and Recreation services. And that's largely due to this commitment from various folks. And we really do have a talented team of staff that pulls it together, makes it happen, works with partners and volunteers. And, it really kind of all comes together to make what is Greensboro Parks and Recreation.
Yeah. Love it. Well, thank you for everything that you do. And we're glad to welcome you back again. Hopefully this is for good.
Yes.
You're staying here. Yeah.
Yes.
We're going to keep you here now for sure. Hey, if you want to keep up with all the fun happening in Greensboro Parks and Recreation, start at greensboro-nc.gov, search Parks and Rec. That's going to take you to the main page. You can sign up for the newsletter and really won't miss a chance to play. I mean, you'll find out about the upcoming registrations for sports, programmings, new installations, events, all of that is there. You'll also find links to all the services, programs, places to visit. All of that is right there. So, Phil, thanks again for spending some time with us today.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Phil. Appreciate you. Stay tuned in weekly by subscribing to Talk City Greensboro on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. And don't forget, you can download Talk City from SoundCloud.
That is our time for this week. Thank you for spending some of yours with us and tuning into Talk City. If you like what you hear, please share it with a friend. Be sure to watch GTN, your official source for news and information about the city of Greensboro. GTN is available on Spectrum Channel 13,
AT&T Uverse Channel 99,
and Lumos Channel 31.
GTN also streams live on Roku and the city's website
at greensboro-nc.gov.